Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video in our Java programming tutorial series. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to utilize the new or the more modern way of reading and writing to and from files using the newer file system API that was added in JDK 7 or Java 7. So as you can see here, I still have my code to generate a file and everything. It does still work like it should. Nothing's changed. But as you can see here, I've added some code to the main method. I've added a try-catch block that catches an IO exception, and then I have two lines of code inside of our try. A write to file and a read from file method call, where the write to file takes in a path, and then what you want to write to the file, and then a read from file method that takes in a path. You can see these method stubs down here. This is where we're going to write our code to read and write from the file. You can see we have, again, they take in a path. And content for writing to the file, and then nothing other than the path to read from it. So let's get started with the more complex one, and that is the reading from the file, right? So we have this. Let's say I want to. So let's go ahead and do this, shall we? First things first is we need to create a buffered writer, like usual. So buffered writer. We're going to call it BW. We're going to set it equal to a new buffered writer. Inside of this, we take a new file writer. And then inside of this, we have a new file. And then inside of the new file, this is where things are a little bit different. Here, we take the path dot toString. You can also do path.toFile instead of a new file. And that'll work too. I'll demonstrate that does in fact work still. But for now, we'll do the toString. Then we need to have a string called contents. For example, set that equal to null. And then we will set up our while loop, just like that. And just like we did before, right, so we'll set content equal to br dot read line. And of course, I chose the wrong object. It's supposed to be buffered reader because we're reading from the file. That's embarrassing. So that's fine. That can easily be changed. No problem. Reader, and then change that to file reader, and we're good. All right. So with that out of the way, we can then system out print line content Boom. All right. So, with that, we can go ahead and save it and run it. You can see we get the message that the file already exists. And then because I already had some pre-existing content inside of the file, it printed out that content to our console. Pretty neat. And that's exactly what we wanted it to do. Now, I'm also going to now let's go ahead and go back into our method here, and we're going to not even use the toString this time around to show you that toFile does work as well. We will say path.toFile. And you can see toFile returns a file object, which the file reader will happily accept. Go ahead and save it and run it, and you can see we get the same result. If you want to do the toFile so you can create a file object and manipulate it that way, you can do that. Otherwise, I personally just use the toString to get the path, like the string representation of the path that's stored in the path object. So with that, we can also go ahead and do a write to the file. Let's go ahead then, and we will do a buffered writer. BW, set that equal to a new buffered writer, new file writer, and then we go path dot to file to remain consistent. All right, and then we can just go bw.write, and we will write whatever it is that we passed into the function, or the method I should say, and that is content to write. And one thing I forgot to do as well is we'll go bw.close, and we also gotta do br.close. Cool. To make sure we don't have any memory leaks or anything, because that would be bad. All right, now let's go ahead and change. We're going to go ahead and change what's in here. We're going to change what we write to the file. All right, and we're going to say Java is the best programming language to start learning with. Right, and I'm gonna add a few. Lines to that as well. And I'm gonna have that there. All right. All right, so we can go ahead then. All right, and all right. So we're adding 4 lines to the file at this current point. So let's go ahead and then save it and run our code. You can see it completely replaced everything that was in the file already with the new stuff, and then it went and outputted everything. Pretty neat, right? I think so. So that's how you can utilize the newer, more modern way of working with files to read and write to and from a file. Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are other ways of reading and writing to files that you can experiment with yourself if you so desire. I'm just not going to show them off because there's so many other ways of doing it. You guys would be better off going out and looking for them yourselves and trying them out. That is a much better learning experience than watching me type them all out. That's one thing that I always encourage when I'm doing these, is that I want to encourage you guys to go out and look up solutions to your problems yourself. And if you can't find the solution, feel free to leave a comment, and I will, of course, try to answer every question that you guys might have. So, that basically wraps this tutorial up, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.